So let's go step by step. What are the constraints? So first is we will go with the domain constraint. As I said, domain means that which deals with the if we give at the column level, if we give something constraint at the column level, okay, then it is called as a domain. So there are two types. There are three types actually: default constraint and check constraint and CHECK, yeah, check constraint. And after that we got one more called rules. First we go with the default. What is default? Suppose we are having one called employee salary. We are having one in the employee table. We are having one column called employee salary, and it is a data type as integer. Okay, integer means it stores like 2 power 4 bytes. Right? It stores the data up to 2 power 4 bytes. 2 power 4 means 2 power 888, 8 4 is 32. So 2 power 32 values it will be storing integer. So my scenario is that where inserts the value, but I want to restrict the values from the it should not insert the value less than 5000, okay, and it should not insert the value greater than 5 crores, or just I'll write 5C, okay, greater than 5 crores, or in the US currency they will be calling it as 50 million. Okay, in the US they will be calling it as 50 million or 5 million, both are same, because 1 million equal to 10 lakhs in Indian YV, right? So it is a 5 million. So if you want to filter, if you want to provide the condition, then that one you can do by using the check constraint. Okay, and suppose if you didn't insert any values into the employer salary, then if they don't insert the value, means let's say this is my table, I am having EMP ID, EMP name, or some EMP date, EMP join date, something. Okay, so here I'll have EMP ID as 101, EMP name as ABC. If I don't insert anything join date, so it will be inserted as null value, right? So instead of having null, if the user doesn't insert any value, then I want to give the today's date as default date. So that one I can do by using the default date. Rules is nothing but this constraints whatever you are doing. Okay, for that one actually rules you are not going to create on the table. This all you are going to do when you are going to create on the tables. Okay, but rules you are going to set one rule at the database level, and whenever if you want to, like, rule is nothing but same whatever we did check constraint, that one, for that one we are going to create a rule, and the same thing we are going to use that one on the column. Okay, just the rule name they will use on the column, that's it. So instead of writing the check constraint here, just we will create a rule, and that rule we will use that. But nowadays they are not using, don't worry, they are using, but very rarely. Okay, it's not much important also, nothing to worry about that. Okay, so we will concentrate on default and check constraint. So default is nothing but if you pass any null value to the column, so it should store default value instead of the null. We are going to see that. Check constraint means if you want to filter, if you want to, while inserting the data, if you want to follow some conditions to check, some conditions need to be checked, so then you will use a check constraint. Okay, then we will go with the other one. This is a domain constraint. Next we will go with the entity constraints. Entity constraints, sorry. So what is entity constraint? Entity constraint is the constraint which deals with the entire table. So that is nothing but the primary key. Next I will have one more column called primary key and unique key. One more call called unique key. Both comes under the entity constraints. Okay, what is the use of the primary key and what is the use of the unique key? I will be saying now. Primary key means the records will be unique. Unique key also the records will be unique. Okay, primary key, if you declare one column with the type called primary key, and if you try to insert null values, it will not allow null values. Not allow null values. Okay, unique key means it will allow null value. It will allow only one null values. It will allow only one null value. Only one null value. Okay, unique key means it will allow only null value. Next, when you declare the primary key, automatically a cluster index is created. Don't worry about the index, we are going to see. A cluster index is created. Okay, here no index is created. Sorry. Next, after this, the other I am writing here. So in the primary key, what happens? You can create only one primary key for the table. You can create more than one unique key on the table, more than one. Okay, so that are the differences. We are going to study it later on. Unique key means, so let's say we got one column. I am having one column called EMP ID, and I am having one column called manager ID. Okay, EMP ID and manager ID. So if I insert 101 and manager ID is nothing but the, let's say it is self reference table. So I will have null here. So EMP ID is a primary key. I am writing as PK. Manager ID is unique key. Okay. As I said, unique key will accept one null value. So I inserted. Next is this is 102. And if I again try to insert null value, it will not accept. It will show an error because it accepts only one null value. If we try to insert other, it will not accept. So I will give 101. Okay. Here if I try to give 101 as the third record, then it will show an error because primary key means it will accept only unique record. So 101 is already there. So if you give 103, then it will accept. It will not accept 101 again. If you give here 101 again, it will also not accept because unique key also same as the primary key, but it will only the difference is that it will allow the null value, but primary key will not allow the null value. If you try to insert the null value, it will not allow the null value. Okay, that is only major difference, and they are like other difference also, but you can just remember this is the only one major difference is that unique key will allow the only one null value, but primary key will not allow the other because primary key column will always be not null. We'll see that what is meant by that. Okay, now that is good. This is about the entity constraints. What is we have one more constraint called referential integrity constraint. Referential integrity constraints. So we got table called company. Okay, this company I will have the company ID, company sales. That's it. Just say I'll just say company ID and company C sales. We got one more table called company address. Okay, this one will have company ID and company address. Okay, now this is a main table. Whatever the companies are there, it will have the list of all the companies. Company address something. And when you want to insert some sales into the companies, this company table, if you want to insert some sales, when you insert some ID, you should make sure that that ID also there in the company table, because let's say this is a main table, it will have list of all the companies. Whatever the companies are there, it will have list of all the companies in this table only. Okay, suppose if you want to insert some sales here, definitely whatever ID you are inserting, that ID should be definitely it should be in the company this table, address table. Let's say this is a main table. Okay, it should be there here definitely. Okay, in order to control that, what we are going to do, we are going to give the foreign key relationship on this column. You are going to give the foreign key relationship on this column referencing to company address table, company ID column. So whenever you insert a value here, first before inserting the value, whenever you try to insert, what system at the back end it does is that it takes the 101 and checks whether that 101 there in the company address table, company ID column. If the 101 is there, then it will allow you to insert. If it is not there, then it will show an error. Okay, that all we can see now. So I will not do anything. So we will go step by step. Oh, sorry. I will just disconnect this. If you want to disconnect, just select this and click on this. Automatically it will be removed. Okay, but don't delete it. don't never delete it. Okay, just don't right click and don't do the delete. Actually it will not give the permission also to delete here, nothing to worry. So I'll go to the database, I'll select my database and click new query. Okay, first we will worry about the student table. Let's take the student table or some employee table. Okay, I'll write as create employee, create table employee, so I'll give one EMP ID. I'll give the EMP ID, or I'll just give the EMP ID. EMP ID as integer. Okay, after giving integer, just I'll give the primary key. That's it. Okay, so that column will be assigned as a primary key. Next, I'll insert one more column called manager ID. I'll give this one. I'll give the type as unique key. Okay. Actually, for the unique, we will not give any key, just unique only. Next, I'll give salary. I'll give a SAL. I'll give the salary as integer. Okay. But what I want, I don't want to insert the salary between 5,000 and that. So for that one, you just do check. Okay, sal between 5,000 and I'll write something this one. Okay, but you need to give in the bracket. That's it. Okay, so I'll just give comma. That is for the, so whenever I insert a salary less than 5,000 or greater than this, then it will not allow me to insert anything. Okay. Next, I want to give the date, EMP employee join date or EMP join date. పోవచ్చు కానీ నీకు అది తెలుసా ఆ గేట్ కొద్దిగా ఓపెన్ చేయడానికి కొద్దిగా కష్టం ఉంటుంది. ఇటు సైడ్ నుంచి వెళ్తున్నావు అనుకో, ఆ గ్రీన్ బటన్ అది రెండు గ్రీన్ బటన్ ఒత్తి గేట్ పుష్ చేయాలి. అవతల దిక్కు పేస్టైన్ గేట్ ఉంటుంది. వచ్చేటప్పుడు 1352 జస్ట్ పుల్ చేసి వచ్చేస్తుంది. జాగ్రత్త సనా. హలో. So for the EMP date, I'll just give the date type as date time. Okay, and here I want to give as default value, default as get date. So I want to give as default value. Default value means if no one inserts any value, then it should accept the default date. That's it. Okay. Oh, what is the error? It is showing that this is already there in the table. So just we will write as an employee. This is my employee table. Okay. I have given the manager ID as unique. Let's take the manager ID may be anything. Okay. So I have given the unique. So what is my scenario is it? Now I will just create execute. Okay, the table is created. Now let's try to insert the values. Insert values into employee values, and here I will just insert only 3 columns: EMP ID, okay, EMP ID comma manager ID comma salary. I'll just select salary. So now here I'll just insert employee ID is 101. As I said, primary key means, see one more thing, previously what we did, we just created a table, create table. Okay, just one thing I just want to show, create table, and I will give you a temp, test test, okay, test, and I will give some values here, id as integer, just I will give one thing, okay, id as integer, just one thing, and when I declare, when I execute this, the table will be created. See, I have just given id as integer and just click executed. So already the table is there. Just I will write 1 2 3, test 1 2 3, just I will select it here and execute. The table is created. Let us go to the database and see the table once. I will show you example. There is a one thing, just I want to show you. Test 1 2 3, where is it? Yeah, it is here. If I select, and if I want to see the structure, same create structure, I can see it. How? Just I will select, right click, go to the script and create to a new query window. When I do, I will get the script, how to do whatever I want. I see, just remove this, okay, don't worry. See, one more thing, just remove this, it is nothing but the on which where it is storing, that is the thing. See, what is the thing I have given? I have just given id integer, but why you are showing as null? By default, it is also one more type. Whenever you declare the thing, it will show the type, whether that column should allow null values or not. Okay, this is if I give not null column, then if that column will not allow not null, anytime you should insert always whenever you try to insert, definitely you should insert some values into that. That is a not null. When it is null means, definitely even though if you don't insert values, it will not take any, it will not is not a problem for that. Okay, so you can take one more thing, not null, and null is also one type of constant. Just assume it's not like, but it's somewhat related to constant type only. Whenever it means that whenever you try to insert the data into the table, we can see this way also, create table. Okay, I will just write table test 1 1 1 1. I will just write table test. I will write temp table. Okay, now see, I will just give id integer. I will not give anything. I can give, even though I don't give anything, it will take as null only. It is type is null. Next I will give name as abc, or else this one I will take as a not null. This one I will give as a null. Name as varchar of 10. Okay, here I will give as null, means we can insert null values into that, but id we can't insert a null value. So I will just create a table, insert into, what is the table name? It is a temp table. I will just insert values. Okay, the first one id, right? I will just insert null value. Null means it will take as null value only. Name I am giving it as abc. Okay, but when I try to insert, it will not allow me to insert. See, because why? The id column I have given null, but I am inserting not null value. Sorry, id column I have given not null, but I am trying to insert null value, so it will not allow you to see. Column does not allow nulls. That is a scenario. Okay, if I give 1, if I give id as 1, but if I insert null values into the table, okay, this one and this both are same. Insert into template, so temp table, right? Temp table. I will just give id comma name, and here I will give values. I will give values 1 comma, sorry, just okay, I will just give id. Both are same. Instead of value, you can say it as null. Even though if you do this, then also since you are not passing any name value, so by default it will insert the null value only. See here, I will just give 2, I will just give 1, right? So I will just insert the value now. Execute. Now see the select star from table. Select star from temp table. Why I am saying is that just over the null and not null. That's it. Okay, null and not null. See, both is the same. So if you give the type as not null, it will not allow to insert null value. If you don't give anything, by default it will take as null. Since here Now see, whatever tables we have created up to today in front of you, all I have not given anything. So by default it will take as null only. Okay, but when you created a primary key, it should be not null. By even though if you don't give not null, by default the system will take it, that system will take the type as not null only. You can see now. Okay, so already we created the table, right? Yeah, already we created the table, and let's go and see the table. The table name is employee. If you right click the table and script the table and see, primary key we are not given anything, right? But by default it will take as not null. See here. Okay, that is a null value. That is the difference between not null and null. So now see here, we will go step by step. So I am inserting EMP ID, manager ID and salary, but I am not inserting any get date. EMP join date I am not inserting. So I will give the manager ID as null, because it will accept one null. So I will give null, comma. What is the salary? I try to give the salary as some 10,000. So it will accept, because the salary should not be 5,000 in that one, right? So it is not less than 5,000. So it will accept, execute, it will accept. Let's see the select star from. Select star from. What is the table name? Table name is employee. If I do this, what happen? Since I have not inserted any date time, but since I have given default as get date, so now that it will be shown a get date, the date time. See, instead of null, it is showing the date time, because what means default means if no value is passed, then it will assume that as a default date. That's it. Okay, it will take the default date and it will insert the current get date. Internally the system does. This is the one thing. Next, I will just copy the same query. Now I will try to insert, instead of 10,000, I will try to just insert 1,000 in the EMP salary. Will it work now? Can anyone say? Hello, Nikit, can you say this? Will it work?
No, it won't work.
Why?
Because the value is below 5,000.
Okay, it will not work, right? Okay, it will not work. So I will give as 9,000. Will it work now?
Yes.
No, it doesn't work.
1 minute. I will ask Dhanalakshmi. Will it work? I will ask one by one. Hello?
It will work.
Okay, Durga, will it work?
Yes, 9,000.
Okay, Likita, will it work? Hello? Likita, will it work?
Yes, boss.
Monica, will it work?
Yes.
Srinik, will it work?
Yes, Bhaskar.
Okay, and only one Shilpa, you said no, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
all
yeah. Leave. I just want to show. Okay. Yeah. So you are all saying as it will work, but it will not work. Why? Because already you inserted one null value. Unique key means it will accept only one null. So already inserted null. How it is going to accept the other null? Right? It will not work. Now if I run this, will it work?
Yes, Bhaskar.
Who is this? Shilpa, will it work?
It will work.
Durga here.
Okay, Durga. Shilpa, will it work?
it won't work because the primary key has been
Yeah,
again
see.
No, repeated.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's just okay. Yeah, because you didn't observe, right? So the primary key also will not be. So you need to give the other thing. That's it. Okay. Execute. You got it. It will work. Now if we see this, you can see the value. Okay. That's the difference between primary key, unique key, and the. We have seen 4 constraints now, right? Primary key, unique key, this one and this one. That's it. Now if I go and see one thing, when I go and see the keys, I got primary key and key. See, whatever keys you create, the primary key and unique key, you can see it here. If I click on the constraints, okay, then you can see the default constraints which I am giving. So keys, that primary key and unique key can you can see under the keys, okay. Unique key and the this check constraint and default constraint you can see under the constraints name, okay. Indexes by default, sorry, I forgot to say one more thing. Yeah, I informed you a wrong thing here. I said that it will insert a cluster index, right? Cluster index is created, but for this a non-cluster index is created. Okay, I forgot to say that. I said that there will be no index will be created, but here a non-cluster index will be created. For this, a cluster index will be created. For this, a non-cluster index will be created by default on the unique key. You can just see here. For the primary key, a cluster index is created. For the unique key, a non-cluster index is created by default. About the index is nothing but, just for time being, you can understand that index is nothing but it will sort the data. So whenever you want to search, by default it will sort the data. So when the data is sorted, you can easily search the required thing, whatever you want. You can easily search when the data is sorted. Okay, see here, pk means primary key and uk means unique key. Okay, this is a employee table. We are good. So far so good. So we just inserted employee ID 101, 102. Okay, leave it. We worried about that. Let's say we got one more table called department. Create table department. Okay, this department table will have the department ID. This will be the integer and it will be the not null. Okay, it will be the not null. After that, we have one more called employee ID. Whoever employee is working in the department ID, it will have that. So it will also not null. Okay, my thing is that, okay, my thing on this table, if I add anything on the department table, okay, like if I okay, I'll just go here, I'll just create a table. Now this department table should have it will have the list of all the employees who are working on the department. Okay, employees means where we'll have the employees details, we'll have the employee details on the employee table. Okay, this department table should not allow us to insert the employees who are not there in the employee table. While inserting the data into the department table, it should not allow us to insert the employee tables, employee details of the employee ID who are not there in the employee table. Let's say, just try this. So in the employee table, we'll just having two records, right? Select star from employee. If you just select the employee, so what it will just show two records, employee ID 101, 102. So in the department ID, it should allow only the employee IDs which are there in the employee table. It should not allow us to insert the employees IDs which are not there in the employee table. So insert into department. Okay, insert it to department. I'll just give values. So if I give 101 department ID, I'll start with 1 comma. If I give 103, then it should not allow us to insert. Okay, but when you do this, by default it will allow us to insert, because we didn't make any relationship between this column and the table name. So what should make is that we should form some relationship between this column and the employee table employee ID column. Okay, we should make some relationship. So how to make is that, first I will truncate the data, truncate table department, right, department, because department table will have 101 ID, right. So I'll just truncate it, execute. Okay, I'll just keep the query here. So what I am going to do is that I am going to alter the table, because I want to make some relationship. How to alter the table is that alter table. Okay, because on this column I want to create some relationship. How to create relationship with this one, alter table, table name is department. Okay, alter, what is the column name, EMP ID, EMP ID, foreign key, references, which table, employee table, employee table which column, employee ID. Something here, oh sorry, I need to write add constraint, I think.
Yes.
Add constraint. Yeah, okay, because we are adding constraints, right. So we need to always use the add constraint. If you modify the column, then we use the alter column. Okay, so that's it. So when I add this, what happens now? Number of reference column foreign key difference from number of reference column table department.
It should be add constraint foreign key and then the column name.
Oh, okay. Foreign key and then the column name. No, it is not. It is wrong. No, it will not work.
Inside the bracket, you are supposed to give that employee ID.
That is with that employee ID is a record from the employee table. Number of referencing column in the foreign key difference from number of reference to column table department. What is this? Alter table department constant emp id. Sorry, something might be different. This is a emp id. Okay, very good.
Can you try giving add constraint foreign key within the bracket employee ID and then
Oh, that one?
references him?
That one, I think
Yes.
it will not work because
Open the bracket,
uh-huh,
employee, close it.
yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, see the syntax is different. The syntax is correct. Whatever the syntax I get correct, but there may be something small thing. Employee table. Let's see. Number of referencing column in foreign key. Add constraint. Okay. Yeah,
You have to write
constraint
the
only.
constraint name.
The constraint name we are given here foreign key. By number of reference in column different department. There is some small thing it may be. We are given the table name and we are given the other one. That is okay. Yeah, just we can see it in the Google. There may be small syntax issue. Okay. Alter table, adding foreign key relay foreign key to the existing table. Adding yeah, foreign key to existing table. That's it. Alter table, yeah. That's the thing. So
You have to
just
give the constraint name, right?
constraint, and we need to give this one. Even the constraint also works, but there may be some small thing. I think so. Foreign key, here emp id. Will it work? Yeah. Okay. But what is the difference? Let's see.
Now, Bhaskar, you have to give the constraint name. They have given FK underscore person ID as a constraint name. And then
Yeah,
it should
but
be foreign key.
no, by default, if you don't give by default, it will system will create its own name. It not necessary. Even for the primary key, we are not given the constraint, right, while creating a table. Even though we don't give, the system will take by default its own name. See here in the constraint in the key, it will take its own name. Okay. By default, it will take that. So I'll just take add table. Yeah, now it worked. Okay. So we are just given the primary key. So instead of add constraint, just write add constraint name table, the ID name references employee ID. Okay, because I never use them, so I'll forget sometime the syntax. So this is what we did. So now after creating a constraint, so what we asked, what it is meant by this means, in the department table, whenever we try to insert the emp id, it is going to do a reference with the employee table emp id. It is going to check whether the emp id in employee table is matching with the insert with the emp id which you are trying to insert. See 103 in the employee table, we don't have the emp id as 103, right? We just have employee id 101, 102. So that's it. When you execute this, since there is no emp id 103, see now it will show primary key, foreign key conflict with the database test table. You can see here foreign key constraint issue. Okay, that is the what you will be getting here. Insert into database name, okay, values, and suppose if you insert 102, then it will allow you to insert 101, 102. What you want, because that 101, 102 is an employee table, but 103 is not there, so it will not allow you to insert. Okay, that is the use of the foreign key reference. Okay, so everyone is okay with this. So we have seen different types of constraints. One is the domain constraint. In the domain constraint, we will have check constraint and the default constraint. Okay, and next is the entity constraint. In the entity constraint, we will have the primary key constraint and unique key constraint. And next is the referential integrity constraint. Referential integrity means referring the other one. Okay, so in the referential integrity constraint is nothing but the foreign key constraint. That is nothing but the this one. Foreign key constraint is the referential integrity constraint. So totally 5 constraints are important to us. You will be using daily. Okay, you need to understand the concept. And one more thing, whenever you try to insert a foreign key, definitely on which table you are inserting on EMP ID, right? So on the employee table, this EMP column should be primary key. If it is primary key, then only you will be able to insert the foreign key. You will be able to create a foreign key to the table. If it is not a primary key, you can't even insert a foreign key to the table. Okay, let's say this is a department table, right? Okay, so department table, we are not given that column as a foreign key, right? So now we will create one more table as class, okay. This class will have the, let's say it will have create table some college. Okay, so in the college, let's take in the college we got college ID, okay, and it is an integer, and next we got department ID, and it is of the integer. Now if you want to do a reference, just I will read foreign key references. What is the table name? It is a department table, DEPART, department table name, department. And what is the column name in the department table? It is a department ID. If I do the foreign key like this, see, okay, what is the error it is showing? You can see one message here. There are no primary key or primary or candidates key in the reference table department. That the match reference column list is foreign key. So it is what is the error it is getting? It's showing that there is no primary key or candidate key in the department table. That's why it is not getting. Okay. If I try to create, no, it will say, see, there are no primary key or candidate key. So whenever you want to do a reference to some column in the table, definitely that table should be a primary key. And what is a candidate key? Candidate key is nothing but primary key means you are creating a primary key on one column. Okay, you are creating a primary key on one column. Let's say the EMP ID you are creating for primary key. Sometimes let's say there is a company table. This is my company table. Okay, I'll just go with this. Now you will be understanding this case one. Let's say I got one company. I got company ID. Okay, year, as you did for previously, right? Year, quarter, and amount. Company ID is 101, 101, 101, and year is 2010, 2010, 2010, and quarter is 123. And amount is something 20, 25, 28, 22. Okay, 101, 101, 101, 2011, 2011, 2011. Now 1, 2, 3 quarters. Just say we have only 3 quarters. Okay, 20, 26, 28. Okay, let's say this is a thing. So on which column can you create a primary key? Can you anyone say? Hello? Hello? Hello, can anyone say on which column you can create primary key?
It should be a composite key between company ID and quarter.
Can anyone say which one should be the primary key columns?
CID.
But it is repeated, right? It will primary key means it will have only one thing. You can't do it here, right?
Quarter and amount.
Huh?
Quarter.
Why you will bring the amount? Amount is you can't get the amount in the primary key,
Yeah,
right?
you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only
So-
quarter can bring.
Quarter means see 1 2 3 again you are getting 1 2 3. It will not
1 2
allow.
3.
So
Yeah.
can anyone say? Yeah, I think I think Shilpa you said company CID and quarter. I think someone said
Yes.
CID. Someone said quarter. So now see company ID, year and quarter is a primary key here. These three cannot be repeated again, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to create a primary key on, you can't create a primary, you can create a primary key on multiple column. That is nothing but the composite. You can call it as composite key. Okay, so you will create same as primary key only. Okay, same as primary key. How you are going to create is that just I will click on the employee table. Okay, I will just go with the script table as. So basically previously what we did, we had given the primary key at the while creation of the table at the beginning, right? Normally you can give the primary key in other way also. This way you can give, okay, the same primary key, or else just leave it at the end of the columns, at the end of the table creation, just you can keep comma. Here also you can give same as this one, see, primary key, and this J are given the column name. So you can give directly here primary key, and after that, oh sorry, I lost the code somewhere. It is here, right? Yeah. So I can write here again primary key, and next in the bracket on whatever column I want to add, I will just add them. If I want to add the primary key on EMP ID and manager ID, I will just give EMP ID, comma, and manager ID. That's it. Okay.
Basket?
Yeah. Now,
Hello?
yeah, 1 minute. So I'll just write this as employee 1. Okay, 1 2 3, and just create the table now. It has been created successfully. Now we go and refresh the table. Okay. Now see the employee 1 2 3 here in the column. See, now the primary key is showing on 2 columns. In the employee table, it's showing on 1 column. See, this key is nothing but the primary key. Now the primary key is showing on 2 columns. Okay, this is a thing that you are. If you can create primary key on multiple columns also, like I have shown the company table. So in the company table, if you want, like, you can't create a primary key on company ID. You need to create a primary key on all the 3 columns. Okay. Yeah, someone stopped me. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, but the values, values doesn't matter if you want to create a primary key for all the three.
Yeah, sorry.
The values which are there in the company ID doesn't matter if you want to create a primary key for that.
See, you can't create a primary key on this single, because 101 101 is repeated, right? When I create primary key on these 3 columns, then it will check all 3 as a unique. The combination of these 3 cannot be repeat again.
Oh, okay, okay, I got it.
101 year and quarter cannot repeat again. Okay,
Okay, I
we
got
can we can take one more example. Let's take there is a class table. Okay, so in the class table I got class ID, year, which year the classes are scheduled, okay, which students are registered. Here what will be the primary key here now? Which columns will be, just you can think in a normal way. So class ID will be the same. Okay, and at the same time here, let's say I got class ID 101 and here has some 2010 and student has 1. For the same class ID, same year, I can't again insert the student ID again, right?
Yeah, I
So-
got that. I mean, I was just confused the order, like how he's gonna take it.
Oh, okay, okay. Like, so it is a combination of all the if you create a primary key on 3 columns, then it will consider that the 3 columns, none of the columns should all combination of 3 columns should not repeat again.
Okay,
Okay,
got it.
that is a primary key. That's it. That is a you may call it as composite primary key. Okay, Shilpa, did you get this? Hello, hello.
Yeah, Bhaskar, I got it. It was
Yeah.
in the mute, so
Okay, okay, no problem. So now one more thing we need to see now. That is an important thing. Just I think I need to send you some queries, right? So I'll just close this. I'll just copy this. Yeah, I'll just create the table at the end. You can just follow that, okay? Yeah, so what I'm going to just stop, I'm going to stop the video.